Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for July 2021. We're going to jump right in here, Libra, and take a look at what is going on for you. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time, Libra. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But also what I meant to say is make sure to only follow the social media accounts linked down below. There are tons and tons of scammers now, all pretending to be me and other readers. So I will never contact you for money. I will never contact you offering personal readings. I do not do personal readings. So if you have someone claiming to be me, it is a scammer. Make sure to report them. But let's see here, Libra. You start off with the Three of Cups here. It's interesting. You have the Three Cups here, Three Cups here. So for some of you, it's like there was a celebration in the past here in this first row, but I feel like it got ruined, whatever this is. Because you have the Three Cups, you have the Strength card, King of Swords with the Five of Swords. It's like Five of Swords is walking away or giving up on something. So for some of you, this could be a connection. This could also just feel, in a lot of ways, Three of Cups could just be your community. So maybe you feel like you've disconnected from your community or a community. It doesn't have to literally be where you live. It could just be you have felt disconnected from something, and maybe you belong to a certain community, maybe you belong to a certain group. Like it could literally be like an online community as well. And I feel for some of you there's like a reconnection going on here, and I'm not saying this is like a reconciliation. This does not look like a reconciliation reading to me, but it looks like a reconnection. That's the best way I could say it. I really feel like this is a reconnecting reading. And again, maybe you could be reconnecting with something else here. You could be reconnecting with a business idea. You could be reconnecting with health, spirituality, pretty much anything. You have the Strength card, the King of Swords, and the Five of Swords here. It's interesting because you have the King and the Queen of Swords. It doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to, by the way. It's just showing up like this. These are divine counterparts. To me, the King and the Queen of Swords are the worst divine counterparts. And you can see how she has her back to this side here, and she's only facing the star. I feel like this is you right here, Libra, and again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. This is just a general reading. This is just the energy that you're embracing here, and it's like you are focused on healing. I feel like this person was focused on winning, is what I would say to you. Five of Swords, a card winning at all cost. So I feel for some of you, in the past, you were dealing with a person who either wants to win at all cost or only sees things one way. And again, another card of winning, the Ace of Swords, but then you have the Eight of Swords. It's like literally you could have been dealing with a person in the past who is only focused on winning. That's it, plain and simple. And so that could be maybe when you got into arguments, they weren't interested in kind of finding a middle ground. They were only interested in winning. Maybe in life, maybe they play unfair just in general in life, but that's kind of like the feeling I get here of what you have been dealing with. I feel like you're focused on healing, like I said. You have the Nine of Swords. If you tried to be patient with the Strength card, I feel like you tried to be patient with the person here from the past. Again, if this is not a person for you, I feel like this is like a job, a boss, a mentor. Very stubborn energy is what I get. To me, the King of Swords isn't really necessarily stubborn, but I feel like he can be. So that's what I'll say there. You have the Nine of Wands here. Yeah, you put up certain boundaries with this person. Ten of Wands, burden was too great. Pretty straightforward story. I feel like you were just dealing with a person in the past who was who wanted to win at all cost. And I feel like they're very stubborn. It became a burden. You decided to walk away, and now you're healing. The end is what I would say there for you, Libra. But this looks pretty good. So I like that you're healing. You have the Be at Home card. I feel like, again, it's probably just saying heal from home, or you are healing from home with this energy. You have the Seahorse Spirit. You have this Watch and Wait energy as well. So I feel like for some of you, it's like you're waiting for your cups to be filled with that Three of Cups. I'm kind of just looking at the Three of Cups. I'm just getting like health, wealth, and happiness. Like I feel like you're trying to fill those three cups, right, in your life. So I kind of feel like this is more your energy, if that makes sense. It's like the three things in your life that you're trying to bring together at this time, and you're kind of like in this waiting mode. But the good news is you have the Ace of Swords, which is definitely a victory. I also like that she's holding one sword here, so I feel like you're very focused on accomplishing this health, wealth, and happiness with this Ace of Swords. The Eight of Swords kind of says that maybe you're a little bit stuck here, but you have the Hermit in this row. Hermit kind of says you're getting to the end of this long journey. The Hermit is normally holding the star in his lantern as well, which can kind of say you have found your inner light. But here's a star. Like I said, like I always say on the Hermit, the star is contained in that lantern. He's not blasting his star all over the place. But to me, it can kind of say like, no, you should be sharing like what you have gone through. You should be sharing with other people and things like that when the star card shows up with it. So don't be afraid to share your story. But I do feel like there's a victory coming in for you here. It's like I feel like saying finally as well. It's like the Judgment card can kind of be that final release where you're waking up or you're being set free. You're kind of rising from the coffins here, Libra. You're kind of waking up with this energy. And again, I feel like this Queen of Swords is just your energy in this reading. I feel like you're finally clear. Queen of Swords is the first court card where the clouds only go halfway up her body. And again, I feel like you finally have clarity like on the direction of your life and like how to accomplish this health, wealth, and happiness, everything you desire. So let's see here, Libra. You have the Sun. Are you kidding me? Happiness, celebration, freedom, good things coming in for you here. Six of Swords, major improvements. This is just really a major improvement reading, Libra. And the Eight of Swords. It's funny, the Eight of Swords came up in reverse. So it's kind of like you're setting yourself free, like I said, Libra. So in a lot of ways, I feel like you're removing yourself from very stuck situations. Very emotional cards here. Even the Six of Swords, they're still in choppy waters, but that guide, he goes back and forth between the choppy waters. He's guiding this person away from the choppiness. So I feel like you're being guided away. The Eight of Swords kind of says, do not get stuck in shallow emotions. She's standing in very shallow water on this card, and it kind of just says, like, the things that you might be worrying about don't exist. Again, Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. So it's like you're going in the right direction here with this reading. The other thing is, the star to me, I don't want to skip too far ahead here, Libra, but the star to me can sometimes say that there's something you want to accomplish. She's pouring water onto the land here, and you might be questioning it. Like, maybe you want to start a business, or maybe you want to get your health right. I feel like you want to do three things. I feel like you're focused on your health, wealth, and happiness, right? And sometimes the star, we feel like it's a little bit far away. Stars, like this big star here, stars are very far away. They're way out there. And the star can say sometimes you feel like you're not going to be able to accomplish something, but she's pouring water onto land. It basically says if there's something you want to accomplish and someone else has done it, then it's totally possible for you. Even if nobody else has done it, it doesn't matter, right? You'll still be able to accomplish something. But again, she's pouring water onto land. It says what's possible for one person is possible for everybody. And so I feel like that's all you need to realize. Again, sometimes I think we get into that mode where we're like, I want to start a business, but then you're like, oh, there's no way I'll be able to be successful. But if someone's done it, then you can do it. And that's what this is saying. I feel like you can achieve this health, wealth, and happiness, all three things that you desire, but you need to get away from this right here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Again, you have the Hermit in this first row. Hermit really says you're at the end. Again, I feel like saying finally, it's like finally you're at the end of this long journey that you've been on. The Hermit, he has climbed to the top of a mountain, and he is shining his inner light, and it kind of says like he has gone through a dark night of the soul, or he has done some soul searching. So I feel like you kind of have come out of the darkness, or will be coming out of the darkness soon. The Eight of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, and the Star. The Eight of Swords, I feel like is saying don't stay stuck. Sometimes I think we can be stuck in the suck for too long, Libra, and it's like it just becomes almost like a comfort zone, right? It's like where things are just so bad, or things are just not great in our lives, so we're just like, this is how it's always going to be, so we just kind of surrender. I feel like this is saying don't do that. I feel like it's saying never surrender, right? I feel like you need to just never surrender with this energy, and I feel like that Eight of Swords is saying it's time to realize that things are getting better. Three of Cups, there is a celebration coming in for you. I do feel like there are people, like really what's popping into my head here is that people are going to be extremely important to you this month. And because I feel like they're kind of like pulling you out of the suck. Like I said, that's the best word I could use for that Eight of Swords, like the feeling I'm getting there. And I'm not referring to just love here. Again, Three Cups is a card of your community. So friends, family, just people that you see out and about. I feel that in a lot of ways you could be, that people are kind of like pulling you out of this type of energy here, and definitely like healing you with the Star card. So I feel like there are reasons to celebrate with this energy for sure. I also feel like the Eight of Swords says like make sure to pay attention. It's like if we listen to the news, then according to the news, the world is basically on fire right now. Which couldn't be further from the truth. It's like you can choose what to believe. I see good things happening every single day, right? I see people doing good things every single day. The thing I like to remind people is you can also do good things every single day, right? And make the world a little bit better of a place. So I feel for some of you, it's like people are showing you the good side of life here, or they're showing you that good things are possible. And I feel like it's kind of pulling you out of this Eight of Swords energy. Let's see here. You have the Queen of Swords. Again, you're seeing the truth. I think Aquarius had a very similar reading. If you have Aquarius in your chart, I would definitely watch that reading, because their reading was all about like seeing the truth or something like that. And that's what I feel like you're seeing as well. It's like the clouds are clearing, clearly, with the Queen of Swords twice in your reading. You have the Seven of Wands here as well. And you have the Chariot. Major victory coming in for you. Again, Sun, Ace of Swords, Chariot. That's a celebration for you there, Libra. The Seven of Wands is kind of like a card of defending your position at the top of a hill. It's a card of conviction. It's a card of like knowing that you know that something is the truth, right? So I feel like for some of you, it's like the more you believe something, the more true it's going to be. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is what it is. So I feel like for some of you, you need to realize that kind of like whatever you believe, it's almost like you're creating your own reality at this time, Libra. I do want to get more details on this and kind of just see where this is going. You have the Four of Pentacles here. You have the Devil and the King of Cups as well. I feel like for some of you, you are feeling like a little trapped. Four of Pentacles and the Devil. Again, Eight of Swords here twice, feeling stuck. And really, Four of Pentacles asks you to leave a comfort zone. The Devil, on one hand, the Devil can say that you are stuck and bound to something. But on top of that, really, the Devil says you're not. Because the Devil says you need to kind of just release something that you feel like you're stuck to. So I feel like you're not as stuck as you think here, Libra, with that energy. Let's see where this is going. You have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be new love coming in this month if you want it. You have the Emperor. Some of you definitely feel controlled by something that you feel like is out of your control. And the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty. Yeah, I mean, I feel that in a lot of ways, the Devil and the Emperor energy is very general. It's like maybe you feel like you're being controlled by the world or the government or certain people in your life. The Eight of Swords twice is really like you needing to realize that you're not controlled by anything, that you have free will. And the Knight of Cups is a card of dreaming. He just needs to cross this barrier. He needs to cross the river that is on this card to find success. The Knight of Cups, he's like fearing crossing the water. Everything in your reading, there's a lot of water here. Star, Judgment, there's water. Eight of Swords twice, there's water. King of Cups here. So it's like there's clearly some sort of like emotional barrier maybe, or something that's holding you back from achieving a dream. Star and the Knight of Cups and the Sun as well. The Knight of Cups, he's normally looking into that cup. He is dreaming of his perfect life. So outside of love, the Knight of Cups, he's dreaming of like health, wealth, and happiness, right? It's like the three things that would be good for him. But it's like he needs to cross that water. He needs to cross that barrier there. How do we do this, Libra? That's not very helpful. So let's ask, how do we cross here? You have another not good answer, because Queen of Wands is needing to be bold, needing to be assertive, really needing to put your heart and soul into something. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, again, is a card of conviction. Queen of Wands, very similar, because she knows that she knows that she's going to be successful in taking some sort of risk or doing something. So I feel like you need to have that belief. You have the Justice card, you showing up here, Libra, showing up in a very strong position. So, this is a card of cause and effect. So I feel like you are manifesting things very quickly here, Libra. And you have the Hermit again. You know, in a lot of ways, I feel like this reading is saying, with the Hermit twice is saying that you're ready to start this new journey, or you're ready to cross that emotional barrier or that river that's on that card. The Justice card we could look at as you. We could also look at it as your answer, because the Justice card just says, like maybe, you know, like I said, I get this sense of, let me back up a little bit here, Libra, because I get this sense of not believing that something is possible with that Star card, like I was saying earlier, and, but, you know, not believing it, but still wanting to do something about it, or still wanting to do something. It's like, maybe you don't believe true love is possible, but it's like you still want love, if that makes sense. Or maybe you don't believe it's possible for you to have a business, but you still want to have a business, or you still want financial freedom, or, you know, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. The Justice card says you just need to take the first step. You just need to try, basically. Justice is cause and effect. It says if you take the first step, then you're going to get, you know, results in return. I think people are, you know, this comes up a lot in readings, and I think just based off the astrology that we've been dealing with for a very long time, it's like people are afraid to take those first steps. I think people are kind of in this mode of asking the universe for something like proof before putting in the work, but it's like that's not how the universe works, right? It's like we have to put in the work, then we get the proof that it's gonna work. So I feel like there's a flip-flop that needs to happen. So don't be afraid to take a risk here, Libra. It's a pretty good reading. I wouldn't really call this a love reading. I would say, you know, if anything, I feel like you're walking away in healing from past love. You do have love here, King of Cups, Ten of Cups. So it's like you could be dating, but this would be like your future position. There could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you here with the Knight of Cups. And so some of you, you know, could be meeting someone in the future. Obviously, if you're already in a relationship, totally different story. If you're already in a relationship, I feel like it's fine. Here, I mean, I would avoid toxic behavior and things like that, but just intuitively, I feel like if you're in a fine relationship, then it's going to continue to be fine, right? Some of you could be a Leo. Could be a Leo coming in for you. I feel like Leo's been coming up for you a lot. Could be a fire sign in general, because you have the Emperor as well. But this is a pretty good reading. So thank you for being here, Libra. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Libra, and definitely enjoy your week.